All right,
Hello,
all right.
guys. What's up? What's up? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad, my bad. What's
No worries, no worries.
We're back. It's your favorite duo, Chris Sunga and Anti. We're here with you for Pandas with Hats and Azura Gaming. Now, you got to I believe you got to cast last week. I don't Did you get to cast a Pandas with Hat game or an
I
Azura
did
game?
not. I was actually looking
Okay.
so forward to casting it last week, but either way, Pandas with Hats, an unfortunate start to the season, but should be more than fun to watch how they bounce back from an 0-2 start. INT looked to be pretty dang shaky for the first 3 games of the season, but Pandas with Hats definitely not an INT. Instead, gonna be fielding a lot more of their starting roster than INT has.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see some of these players again. For those of you who are new to FOF, some of these players are veterans on the sides of Pandas with Hats. P Sweezy was my teammate back on BBC for a little bit, and has played since season 2, I believe. Mako Shark, also previously username was Sunrise, I believe.
I
played
absolutely stoked to have her back.
Yeah, yeah, she's been casting / playing with us since season 1. Season 1, yo. Kind of crazy. And Spicy Baba too. Used to be Hubes. If you didn't know that, used to be Hubes.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's him. He's back in the mid lane, yo. And ASG is filled with brand new people that they had a little bit of a debut in FOF back in season 4. Some of these players were on team Aegis, if you remember them. The team they eventually had to drop out, but they came back. They're here for the final season. I'm excited to see them.
Yeah, they're back and they're happy to play. And speaking of happy to play, oh my lord, teams seem to be very happy to play Ashe today. I mean, she did just get buffed, so we're probably going to be seeing a lot more of her. A lot of things with the Triforce, a lot of people abusing Static Shiv. Ashe, a very, very strong champion on both of those. Xerath going to be locked in response to the Syndra here. I mean, nothing about this really screams any sort of, crazy counter pick or, moving anything around in a different position. Maokai maybe going to P Sweezy, but more than likely going over to Mako. Very, very strong champion. Still has the ability to really play in almost any lane.
Yeah, I like the okay, Renekton coming out for P Sweezy. That's a confidence pick. That is a confidence pick. P Sweezy gonna be piloting that. That does slightly say that he's not super scared of whatever ASG has against him. Now it is also, oh my god, please
no
pick
way.
Teemo. Oh please,
There's
ASG,
no
you
way.
are my favorite team. If you do so, I don't think that's gonna be a Teemo pick, but we're gonna see what ASG's potato fries has in store for Renekton. But Pandas with Hats team composition already kind of settled. Azura Gaming respond with Gnar in the top lane. Thoughts?
All right. I mean, the Gnar Renekton matchup, something that we've seen time and time again. It really just does depend on how strong Renekton is in the meta, because Gnar always kind of bounces around as the, hey, you know what? If you're good enough, you can play him. It'll work out just fine. Renekton, on the other hand, bounces between, oh my god, this character is so terrible, please never pick him in any of my games, and oh my god, this character is unbelievably broken, please ban him all day, every day. Right now, Renekton, honestly, kind of like in the middle of the pack as far as top laners go, has his strong moments, has his weak moments. It'll really come down to who is the better top laner between these two players.
I'm so excited to see this matchup. P Sweezy versus Potato Fries. Let's get into the game, gamers. I'm ready to see Pandas with Hats versus Azura Gaming. Veterans versus the new kids kind of on the block. And here we go. This is the game. P Sweezy also might look for, I was about to say, they might look for some kind of level 1 top lane to try to get P Sweezy something, because Sweezy needs something, wants something early to be able to be useful later.
Yeah, especially after taking the Conqueror, it means that you're not going to get those really short, quick trades with the press the attack here. All right, hugging the wall. Potato Fries.
Oh, the Braum tag does get onto him. If they can get one more auto, that's a stun. He's going to be forced to flash. Potato Fries flashes out level 1, 45 seconds in. That's going to be a prime target for Mako Shark if they want to just get P-Sweezy rolling.
Yeah, I mean, she's chilling out with the Maokai, has not picked up the W, you know, so she's actually going to be totally fine as far as the clear is concerned. The return vision from Asura Gaming is going to make things pretty difficult to see as to whether or not she can actually really threaten that, though. You know, Sweezy with the counter vision should be a very strong start, but with the side of ASG, one thing I will say, having that ward there is so huge because in tandem with an Ashe, there's no way that you don't know where the Maokai is at all times.
Yeah, absolutely. What's great about this bot lane that I'm sort of observing right now is if I were to be in this bot lane, if I was either Subarashi or Piplup, the first thing I'm thinking is, okay, this is the most boring lane ever. Like, nothing's gonna happen. Like, the whole point of both these bot lanes is to ensure that nothing happens. So we might not see a whole lot of action bot lane. We'll see. Piplup aggressive with the tornadoes. I like to see that. We saw earlier Raptor on Fat Pikachu trying to be aggressive in that bush as Janna, which doesn't work against a Blitzcrank, unfortunately. But into Subarashi, it's allowed. You're allowed to have a little bit more poke pressure onto the Braum.
Yeah, I mean, as a result of the very passive laning phase that we're expecting from this, Quote has picked up the cold start. We saw that in the last game as well for the side of INT. Now it's a question, can you equalize the win rate of Felios cold start in the bot lane? I don't know, but right now Piplup they are absolutely just going to town with these tornadoes, just doing so much damage to the point where, oh my lord,
are
we
really
sure that nothing's supposed to happen?
I could be wrong. I mean, the whole to be aggressive with the Janna right now, you have a lot of tornado pressure. And I guess the theory is that they don't think anything's gonna happen because more stuff's gonna happen top lane. There's gonna be a gank from Mako Shark because that flash is down from Potato Fries. Here comes first blood. It's guaranteed. P-Sweezy gets that lead for Pandas with Hats right away.
Yeah, I mean, that's a very, very difficult situation to find yourself in as Potato Fries. No flash. Doesn't have a ward down into the bush and has to burn the TP early, but right now you just have to hope and pray that your bot lane can really snowball off of this pressure because top lane is going so well for Pandas with Hats right now.
Yeah, but if this bot lane pressure, it's going to mean nothing if they don't actually get anything from it, because at the end of the day, Pandas with Hats just want nothing to happen bot lane. They just want Felios to be able to farm up and to be able to leave. So the race will be on. Spicy Baba getting ganked from Lindblum right now, but nice sidestep, nice dodge away from Spicy Baba, gonna be able to stay alive. Piplup here to ensure that Scuttle Crab, a great proactive movement from this Janna, and no response from the side of Subarashi.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to note is that Lindblum's pathing has been so punishing for the side of Mako here because, Lindblum, he's managed to pick up a decently sized CS lead, almost doubling the side of Mako, and now putting himself into the position where he can just pick up the entirety of the bot side. There's so much vision with that Ashe, such a strong pick in competitive play.
Yeah, I think there's some logic into saying that it's really difficult to protect Potato Fries right now, especially since he's flashless for a little bit longer. So there is some logic, I think, from Lindblum to sort of hover this bot side. But, no dive is going to happen. That's not entirely possible against this. Well, actually, I guess it is possible, but no ultis are up yet. P-Sweezy half health into Potato Fries right now, which little concerning if you were supposed to have the lead so far, but I don't think he's gotten a chance to back yet.
No, has not. Definitely not. Still sitting on that Doran's Blade, still sitting on that health pot, has not spent a single bit of gold. 1300 means that you get a quick Iron Spike whip, or if you want to pick up some early boots, there's so many options you can go for here, but there's the Iron Spike whip we were talking about, TP straight back into that top lane, and hopefully chase down the Gnar with the Slice and Dice instead.
Yeah, so in theory now, P-Sweezy should just win this lane. In theory, Mako Shark might have the idea now to just focus this bot side to see if he can ensure Dragon. But like I said, I mean, I don't think this 3v3 should amount to too much unless Mako Shark decides to fully commit right now. That's going to be a flash out, Subarashi. Nice shield. Spicy Baba actually on the wings right now trying to snipe someone down. But that's not going to be enough to kill Piplup. That's going to be ASG walking out safe. Mako Shark really low right now, meaning there could be a dragon attempt from ASG if they feel like they still win the 4v4. But yeah, looks like it. Viego hopping onto that dragon.
Yeah, and I mean, the gank itself, you know, was able to burn Happy Ending's cleanse. You know, as a trade, it's going to be Mako's flash, and unfortunately for her, you know, not going to get too much out of it, falling further and further behind in the CS department. But, you know, Maokai, very strong champion on a low budget. You know, should be more than happy to keep your teammates in the game, keep your teammates in a position where they can find a lead on their own as a trade-off of your own resources.
Yeah, all Mako really needs to do right now is just to ensure that nothing happens. I feel like I've said that too many times now in this one game, that nothing should happen, but it is a viable strategy. Spicy Baba also just wants to farm up right now. That mid-game Xerath is going to be spooky. And P-Sweezy wants to actually hold on to this lead as much as he possibly can.
Yeah, I mean, nothing happening definitely works out for basically every member of this team, with the exception of the Renekton. Sweezy, you know, needs to make something happen in this top lane. And if you don't have boots into Gnar, it's going to be pretty difficult to really force something without bringing your jungler top lane and looking for a dive.
Yeah, and Mako is actually positioning themselves right near that Rift Herald, so could be a mid gank. A top gank would be fantastic if they can just go for that specific goal. But it could be a mid lane gank right now. Lots of damage coming on the top side. Handicapo, good stun to keep Mako Shark away, and she's just gonna walk that out.
Yeah, either way, Sweezy's just gonna continue to trade up with these, you know, small quick trades in the top lane, but with the conk, it's gonna be a little hard to find yourself coming out on top there. You know, you're not just gonna be able to get that PTA damage out. You know, Potato Fries, on the other hand, just gonna continue to stack up those fleet footwork stacks. And oh my lord, this Gnar is slowly picking up more and more damage. A little bit too far forward, though.
Okay, P-Sweezy gets exactly what he's looking for. Not even on purpose. Potato Fries jumping in probably at the wrong moment. P-Sweezy getting a solo kill in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, it looked so good for so long for the side of Potato Fries, but get a little bit too antsy a single time, and that is it for this lane. There's essentially no coming back for the Gnar here until Lindblom shows up in the top lane. But that means that Mako, now on the bot side herself, should be able to put a lot more resources towards her AD carry and support to try to get them rolled back into the game.
Just be careful though. Bot lane gank is almost fruitless at this point with Ashar and Janna are available. They might try to like force something still in like the next couple of minutes or so. But the idea now is Renekton is clearly ahead. As long as we don't lose this, we're in a better position in the mid game. So Pandas with Hats, very simple idea, simple quest. At this point, just defend the objectives.
Yeah, I mean, right now, you know, you see the red, white, time to fight. Oh boy, quote, more than happy to oblige, but, you know, nothing crazy needs to go on.
Grabbing the Rift Herald, Mako Shark pops the Maokai ulti. Spicy Baba trying to snipe from the side right now. Ash Arrow goes wide. Lindblom able to eventually get that kill and stay alive. P-Sweezy is here, but P-Sweezy goes down, and that is not the person that needs to die right now. Spicy Baba might get picked off here. Blast Cone takes him to safety.
Yeah, and Sweezy going down there is very crucial. It means that there's no return kill, and Lindblom more than happy with how that one worked out. The Herald Eye also going over to Potato Fries means a much needed injection of gold into this top lane.
That's actually so critical. P-Sweezy died there. This lead could be gone. Whether in gold or whether in just priority.
Absolutely.
Oh, well, yeah, with gold as well. Rift Herald onto Potato Fries right now. That tower could go down fairly soon. Mako Shark hovering that side right now, trying to prevent such a Rift Herald attempt from happening, but Potato Fries does pop it now. P-Sweezy here able to just destroy it.
Yeah, but Sweezy looking to just pick up as much gold in return as possible. Trying to really pressure Potato Fries before Potato Fries can actually manage the back.
Yeah, I'm super excited to see now how Potato Fries plays this out. Potato Fries can honestly, as long as there's no more like pointless or accidental deaths solo in the top lane, Potato Fries can just play normally now, and the idea of Renekton is in theory gone right now. We'll see how P-Sweezy decides to play this, because Dragon is coming up soon. Teleport on the side of P-Sweezy, but no teleport for Potato Fries.
Yeah, I mean, Potato Fries already used that teleport to get back into the lane. Sweezy not gonna be able to catch up to this Gnar. That's the thing that I was talking about earlier, right? Where it's very skill-based, but speaking of skill,
Mako Shark popping out the Maokai ulti handicapo. No flash available. Oh, sorry, does have flash available. Oh, but gets the stun onto Spicy Baba. Gets the ulti. Flashes out. Mako Shark gonna try to commit to this to make sure that nothing too big was lost. Oh, does get the kill. Ash Arrow lands, but not in time. The rest of ASG is around, but not close enough to try to confirm this kill onto Mako Shark.
Yeah, I mean, usually it's about right then where you start making jokes about outplay button moments, but Andy Capo actually played that so well, and oh boy, Potato Fries, you gotta play super well if you want to be able to live here, and a flash and a hop, skip, jump over to safety. Potato Fries is gonna be more than happy with how that one played out.
Yeah, a little bit of a preemptive ulti from P-Sweezy on the Renekton, but okay, P-Sweezy might camp this out. He doesn't have ulti anymore, so there's no huge advantage for him other than the fact that he's Renekton. Potato Fries getting hit for a lot right now, but is gonna start actually kiting him away, or start kiting towards him. One more auto attack from P-Sweezy. That bush is warded, and P-Sweezy goes down. This Renekton lead is quickly diminishing.
I mean, Renekton very strong early, but it's going to be harder and harder the later this game goes on. The Potato Fries has so much gold now, and that might be the entire tower.
Yeah, that's crazy. This is their whole lead in the beginning is now essentially gone. Mako Shark is now here trying to make something happen. Piplup, excellent use of the Janna ulti to try to escape from there. Spicy Baba going to try to snipe her, but no cigar. Spicy Baba now unfortunately zoned away from this mid lane, has to find a way back in.
Yeah, and Piplup, they had a very well-timed flash there. I cannot believe that they got to the other side of Mako Shark just barely in time for the Q to send them in that direction. Really, like it's absolutely insane.
Mako
but either
Shark
way.
Going for the ulti on the flashless Syndra, and that's going to be an easy kill given over to Spicy Baba. Yeah,
just like that, Mako Shark just going to be able to pick that one up very convincingly. I've said it before, right? She, like Maokai as a champion does fine on very low budget, but dear lord, she is just pouring her heart and soul into making sure her teammates can do well, because if you look on the side of Lindblum, there is so much farm just pumped directly into this Viego.
I'm almost a little sad now that kill in the mid lane only really led to a scuttle crab from Mako. I think Mako had a little bit of time to invade Lindblum's jungle right there, try to take something, because she's definitely behind right now. I thought that was enough time, maybe not.
Maybe. I mean, like, the thing is, right, you have to remember, as casters, we are omniscient, we know all, we see all, and it's going to be very difficult, if you're on the side of, pandas with hats here, to really just figure out, hey, do I actually have the window here? Where is the enemy jungler? I don't know.
I mean, they're going to need to find it. I mean, the whole Subarashi's goal now is to try to poke these holes into ASG's vision, because they're effectively losing right now. P-Sweezy also caught out on the side. Oh Lindblum and the Handicapo just delete P-Sweezy. That's going to be so rough for the top side of Pandas with Hats. We're going to see how they respond. Dragon isn't up anytime soon just yet, so they can't respond immediately.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna say I have not seen too much Triforce Viego yet, but you know, Triforce has been taken up on a lot of AD champs lately.
Yeah, triple Triforce, huh?
It just does so much damage, and holy hell, does it still do a lot of damage on Viego? Yeah, I mean, Divine Thunder used to be the play for Viego, but with Triforce inbound and the Maokai inbound. Oh my god, flashing is just in time.
Yeah, nothing crazy just yet. A teleport's supposed to be coming. Oh, teleport got cancelled, I think, from the Gnar. Spicy Baba able to get that stun off. That would have been actually kind of crazy if Potato Fries was able to get that teleport off there. Was almost guaranteed a fight there. But Dragon is now up 22 seconds. Spicy Baba has to back, does have teleport. And right now, ASG has such a good window right now to get some wards onto the edge of this Dragon Pit. Subarashi is trying to be the person to ward off the wards, for lack of better words. And Potato Fries, though, applying so much pressure, can't let Spicy Baba back right now.
Yeah, just will not let him just breathe in the slightest. Right now, you can see that, you know, Quote is just trying to farm up on this Aphelios, has a decent bit of farm, still falling a little bit behind Happy Ending on the Ashe, but you know, when your team as a whole has fallen behind this much, staying that close in farm is honestly a good sign.
Yeah, agreed right now. Yeah, credit where credit's due. We do have a big lead for Spicy Baba right now, at least in the CS lead. Oh, okay, I thought for a second I was back in Season 5 again. Oh man. Okay, so Dragon over to the side of ASG. They have Soul Point. That on its own is enough pressure to force Pandas with Hats to have to pay attention 5 minutes later from now. So we're going to see how they actually utilize that. PTP utilized that fantastically in the last game that we saw. ASG, I haven't seen anything from them yet because just got back from Europe, by the way. That's Soul Point on ASG right now.
Yeah, you know, just flying around, just visiting the world, seeing the world that you've crafted with
that
FOF.
I've crafted. Oh,
yeah.
Oh man, I think this was a lot of participation points were added here. I think lots of people contribute to this. So many people contributed to this show. Thank you guys so much. Thank you players. Thank you staff for letting me do one last season. I know a lot of you were burnt out after the last one, but we're doing one more. Sorry, we're doing one more. Okay, Piplup gets out from the Maokai ulti. Barely 1 HP. Happy Ending here is actually just going to be peppering Subarashi down because there's no actual immediate threat to go onto Happy Ending, and perfectly defends his own support right there. Piplup stays alive and hasn't pressed the B button yet, but, you know, we'll get there. Meanwhile, the top lane, P-Sweezy actually has his flank onto Handicapo, and the rest of Pandas with Hats is here right now. They just actually need to commit. This is a 5v2. Just play this out, and you win this. Lindblom has to try to find a way to escape. Exhaust from Subarashi. Handicapo might be far enough to be able to escape. Gonna be a couple snipes coming from Spicy Baba. Perfectly landed. Double kill going over to P-Sweezy. Okay, here's their entrance. They're back in the game now.
And just like that, 2 huge shutdowns over to the side of P-Sweezy. You know, Lindblom might not necessarily have had too much in terms of kills, but that CS differential ended up giving him a decent size of gold for the side of P-Sweezy there. And I just want to say, that survival from Piplup was absolutely insane. And the fact that immediately gets followed up with their mid laner and jungler dying is like is unfortunately just so tragic right there. You know, the Thumper just looking over their subjects falling in front of their eyes.
Yeah. Thanks to that though, this bot side is so insanely open for the side of Pandas with Hats. Like I can expect Potato Fries to just escort himself down there whenever ASG decide to do Baron. They could choose to prioritize this dragon now if they wanted to, But an open strategy right now that's very possible is trying to just go for that Baron instead of the Dragon. Happy ending. It shoots that Ashe arrow. 3 teleports happening at the same time.
Oh, baby.
Here, mid lane. Team fight coming out. Mako Shark gets deleted, but so much damage coming out from Quote right now. That's going to be the rest of ASG. They have to be a little bit more careful. They know it's a 5v4, but that's too much damage from the Aphelios. They have to just be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, and just like that, for a short moment, we were almost transported, straight back to the past, about 200 years back there, as Quote just showing off just how much damage this Aphelios can do without a mythic completed.
Yeah, kind of crazy. I'm not an AD carry main, so I've never played Aphelios in my life, and I hear it's very complicated, but yeah, kind of crazy. Kind of insane to think about.
Aphelios is easily, one of the highest skill cap AD carries in the game. But, hitting R, probably not the hardest part. It's just finding the positions and finding the situations where you can really get off that much damage. And Quote positioning perfectly for that, able to turn what looks like a completely doomed fight into only one teammate loss. Yeah,
fantastic turnaround from Quote. And playing his role fairly well. He really needs to, him and Usubarashi really just need to make sure nothing happens to them. If something happens to them, the fights are definitely over. And we just have to pray P-Sweezy can do something, and Mako Shark as well.
Yeah, but right now it's red-white, time to fight. You got that Severum just fully stacking up every single little bit of those Crescendum Chakrams. You just gotta be so careful against Aphelios when he's got this set.
Okay, ASG, you're nuts if you Baron, like, right now. Like, just go Baron. I say that's the strat. Okay, lots of
hold on.
Actually coming on to ASG right now. Ashe arrow goes through. They're gonna try to commit this fight.
Potato Fry's on the back.
Potato Fry's trying to flank, trying to see if he can get something. He almost has Mega Gnar. Lindblum is also here to pinch them out of the Dragon Pit. They actually successfully just push Pandas with Hats outside of the Dragon Pit and try to confirm this soul. Okay, Spicy Baba, nice snipe onto Piplup. That is just the Janna. That means their disengage is currently down. This is P-Sweezy's cue to try to go in. P-Sweezy needs to get on the backline right now. Potato Fries is being such a good tank right now. Spicy Baba trying to get some snipes onto this backline that's just hovering over this wall right now. And Pandas with Hats have control of this Dragon Pit right now. It's up to them now if they want to decide to commit to this dragon and prevent Soul, or try to see if they can win a fight.
Oh my god!
It's going to be huge by Quote coming out from the Aphelios, taking down Happy Ending, and that's Mako Shark smiting away the dragon, keeping themselves alive for another dragon.
Yeah, that was beautifully played from the side of Pandas with Hats. Caught ASG slacking in a choke point, and we've said it time and time again, choke points. You have to be so careful around teams with AoE abilities around these choke points, and Quote had a perfect fighting set. Spicy Baba and Mako going to be able to just pump continual damage into the middle of ASG. That one sapling in the brush was so pivotal because Mako manages to give vision across the entire team. Quote just needs to land one shot from the Calibrum, and every single Crescendum Chakram just fires straight into the middle of the enemy team.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Now let's pay attention to these supports. The supports are going to indicate where they believe they're going to fight in their in specific pockets next. Subarashi able to get a couple wards around the Baron Pit. There might be a Baron fight in the minds of Pandas with Hats right now. I mean, that is the obvious neutral objective that is up right now, but it's completely okay to just keep warding it and prevent it from actually happening. I don't think Pandas with Hats would risk a full-on coin flip fight at this stage. Actually, who knows? Maybe Quote is strong enough at the moment. 8,700 gold on this Aphelios total throughout the game.
Yeah, I mean, did just finish that Mythic, with the Gale Force inbound, should be able to really start to pump out that damage. Doesn't have the Ghost, but with Cleanse is so much harder to lock down.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, center control. We're going to see how Pandas with Hats try to do whatever they can to try to keep minion wave up. If they can just keep some pressure onto this mid lane, at least 3 or 4 members are going to have to compete for this mid lane. Mako Shark coming in right now, tries to find something, throws the Maokai ulti and dips. Been there 100%.
Oh,
God.
baby. But, you know, either way, Mako gonna be getting a solid engage. Just not going to be able to amount to too much more, though. Just was able to pick up Happy Endings Cleanse, which, in all seriousness, honestly, a pretty crucial cooldown. But it's a question of, can you really force anything without the Maokai ulti?
This game is deceptively really close right now. Anyone could win this next fight. ASG, I mean, obviously has the gold advantage right now, but Mako Shark is hunting for people, just straight up hunting for kills right now, hunting for these champions. Meanwhile, we have Potato Fries hunting for neutral stuff, towers or sorry, jungle camps. Potato Fries literally being the one person sort of imbalancing this game right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's a question as to how this one's gonna pan out.
Oh,
Sweezy
no.
down 2 levels. This could be really, really rough.
So much damage coming out of Potato Fries. Mako Shark is trying to arrive to the fight. Flashed out from Sweezy, but still gets hit by the rock. Potato Fries ended up 0-2 in his early lane, now solo killing P-Sweezy. And this means a Baron call from the side of ASG. They think that's enough pressure in that bot lane to force Pandas with Hats to make a decision.
Yeah, I mean, either Pandas with Hats has to respond to this Baron and just leave that bot lane alone. You can see just how much damage Potato Fries is getting on this tower. Oh my lord, might be able to get the entire thing as Pandas is forced to recall.
Yeah, that's such a hard decision to make from Pandas with Hats. I mean, I personally, I think in that call you give the Baron for sure, and you try to just hunt down this Gnar. So that's at least something that you can almost guarantee if you can have 4 people surrounding a Gnar. But 4 people surrounding a Baron and 4 other teammates is a little too difficult, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely a tough position to find yourself in. And now Sweezy does have the board completed. You know, that's a crucial item that was not completed in the last fight. But when you're down 3 levels to Gnar, that's still going to be very, very difficult to make up that deficit.
Yeah. Okay, ASG beelining towards this dragon. Very obvious goal on the map right now. This dragon's coming up in 30 seconds. It's a sole point for ASG. I mean, ASG can just counter and just go straight for Baron if they decide to fully commit Pandas with Hats right now. We'll see what kind of strategy they want to go with, or they can even just counter push right now. But that's a good amount of poke damage coming out of Spicy Baba. Nice stun too. Subarashi trying to just force the rest of his team to safety, but Piplup goes down. P-Sweezy and quote, take down Happy Ending. This is such a good window for them to try to get this dragon. Flash forward from Mako Shark onto Handicapo. Gonna try to get this Syndra, but Mako Shark predicts where she's going, and Handicapo is gonna go down. Almost got that ulti onto the Maokai, but nice W away from Mako Shark. And now this means another dragon over to Pandas with Hats. They are doing everything they can to try to just equalize this game right now, and they might have just done it. As long as they can prevent another dragon, they'll be in a good spot.
Yeah, you know, keeping things competitive. Mako Shark once again smells blood in the water and goes absolutely ham in that back line. Every single time her flash is up, every single time her ulti's up, you can always see Mako trying to make plays. You know, she understands that her team's this far behind, and when your team's that far behind, you have to have someone pull the trigger. And Mako, the #1 person to do it for this team in this game, really. You know, there's no one in this game that's as willing as Mako has been to really make these kinds of plays.
Yeah, and Mako really is honestly one of the only real... Okay, Mako does get Ash arrowed right here, and core members of ASG are here for this pick. That means Mako Shark goes down, which means a very, very obvious choice for ASG. Baron now in the hands of ASG. Pandas with Hats again have to make a decision. Do they go for a potential steal? I don't think the answer is yes. That mid lane tower is looking a little spicy though. It's a little low. Maybe bring all the teammates there. But that is
God.
Now with the Baron, Spicy Baba getting these snipes onto Piplup.
Okay, I mean, I don't know what Piplup said about Spicy Baba's parents, but, you know, they should apologize, because dear Lord, Spicy Baba has just been pelting them with ult shots from the Xerath, just continuing with that. And I'm not 100% certain if it's actually that useful, but it's getting to be pretty dang spooky for this Janna player.
I think the idea behind the Spicy Baba Xerath pick is to poke them down and then start a fight. I think it is supposed to be the idea, the theory, because it's not like you're poking down while you're being chased down by a Gnar. So I think that's the idea. I don't think they've actually been able to make that happen yet. I don't know if that's actually their strategy or not with the Xerath pick. But I also know Spicy Baba is just straight up a Xerath main. So
yeah,
there's that as well.
I mean, if you've seen it before, the Hubes Xerath coming in clutch many a game, and this is one of those games where you have to have that happen. Potato Fries
getting caught by Mako Shark right now. This is a 1v2 now. There's a lot of time. Potato Fries has a lot of health. He can think this through. Does try to retaliate a little bit, and Mako Shark and Spicy Baba are sort of agreeing that this is not worth their time at the moment. They should back off. 4 members of ASG now pushing down this mid lane. That's going to be a stun on Barashi, and P-Sweezy wanted to try to make something happen there. Ash Arrow lands onto P-Sweezy, and that's going to be an immediate deletion onto P-Sweezy. Quote on the side right now, trying to just hit people from the safest place possible. Janna moves forward to try to kill the ADC and is unsuccessful, believe it or not. Happy ending, though, able to take down Spicy Baba, and this means 4 members of ASG still alive. This means only 1 member for Pandas with Hats still alive. This could be the end of the game. Soul Dragon wasn't even necessary. And no, don't lose KDA, no! Oh, his KDA quote goes down right at the end to Potato Fries, and that's ASG taking this game over Pandas with Hats.
Yeah. And it was looking so good at the very beginning for Pandas, but ASG staying composed, staying calm, able to pick things right back up and drive themselves directly into the control, a perfect position to take control of this game.
Yeah, and what's so great about this is, ASG, we had no idea what they would look like coming out of qualifiers. Obviously, everyone was a question mark because they only got to play against very few people. But ASG now 2-1 in the standings.
Oh, baby.
Yeah. I also don't know if we're going to transition to Victor. Okay, hey, there we go. All right, fantastic. This is a replayed VOD, so unfortunately we can't show the scoreboard or anything. But for those curious, it was a triple Triforce game, and they won. So Triforce is OP. Just buy 3 of them, and you win the game somehow.
Yeah, wisdom, courage, and power.
Yeah,
all 3,
and you get your wish or something. I don't know what happens when you get the Triforce. You become God. I don't know.
I don't know. I know this one guy who turned into like a pig demon thing.
Yeah, right. But his whole thing was like, I need to get the Triforce. But why does he need Triforce? What does he actually do? It doesn't matter. Okay, ASG taking this game over Pandas with Hats. Coming up next, this is replayed VOD, so we don't have interviews right now. But coming up next, we got Blue Bayou Zoo versus OVS, Oversoul Esports Incarnate. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you check out the Friend or Foe Connect, FOFesports.com/press. Shout out to Logitech G and Adobe Creative Cloud and Academy of Art. Thank you guys so much for making the show possible. And thank you, players. Thank you, staff, for making this show possible, too. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Okay, all right, we're in. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to the final game of the evening. My name is Chris Sunga. I'm here with Anti. We're here for the final game, Blue Bayou Zoo versus Oversoul Esports. Anti, how you doing?
Woo, baby. Hello. I'm doing quite well. Oversoul has been a very interesting team coming into this tournament, but Blue Bayou Zoo, long time, veterans of the scene, had a short stint in Mythic, dropping back down here into Heroic League, and once again, always willing to bring out forbidden tech, like the first pick rel, which may or may not be a jungle rel.
Oh, you think? Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Oh, I'm down. I'm super down. It's been a while since I played, so I did not know rel jungle was a thing. Knew it as support. I've never been a huge fan of it in the support role unless it's in very specific situations. Maokai Zaya coming out for the side of OBS.
Yeah, I mean, Maokai Zaya, very strong picks to start things off. Zaya, just overall, a great AD carry in the current meta, but Maokai was a very, very good champion, like, in general. Like, I just cannot ever think of anyone who would just not want a Maokai on their team. Misfortune going to be picked up here, so the rel, regardless of whether or not it's going to be in bot lane or in the jungle, is going to be doing more than fine.
Okay, I'm being told by production by Rel is one of the best champions of the game. My bad, did not mean to flame. I'm so sorry. Stat checkers, don't at me, yo. My bad, my fault. Rek'Sai coming out for the side of Dax, which means this is gonna be Rel support. Going over to Jacob Dudar. Jacob Dudar.
Maybe.
Don't tell me it's still a Rel jungle. Is it?
I don't know. I mean, okay, Rek'Sai, very good champion.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I think we all can agree that Rek'Sai top, that Rek'Sai could be a very good pick regardless of the team.
Okay,
Rek'Sai
fair.
top has been getting very, very popular lately.
Okay, got it. Well,
so
just in case you guys needed to know how out of touch I was, that's how much.
Don't worry. Everything that I've mentioned so far is still a little bit atypical.
Okay.
Right?
Sure. All right. Yeah, well, I'm excited to see it. If it is Jaffe Rek'Sai, I think that's going to be like the first time I've ever seen Jaffe Rek'Sai. But I'm excited. So yeah, here we are now going into the bans. Silas Mordekaiser being taken off the board. Ari in addition to that as well, and LeBlanc from the side of BBZ.
All right, but only time will tell what it is that we're going to see. I'm so glad that LeBlanc is gone. That champion is so unbelievably not okay on this patch. The fact that we have not seen it yet in pick bans is kind of insane to me, because this champion has been absolutely terrorizing solo queue with the static Shiv build. It is
really
unbelievably insane.
Wow, I'm so curious.
Like, she
kind of sad now.
So the thing about static Shiv is that it has a 150% AP ratio to minions. So with a single auto attack, you will clear the entire wave.
Wow, that's cool. Did not know that.
Yeah.
Did not know that. Try that out next time I get to play.
It's pretty dang sick. I've been banning it so much on this patch, but either way is probably going to be the Annie for Fire Mana yet again. I'm seeing a lot of Annie for this mid laner. I'm not sure if it's like a stylistic choice, or if it's just hey, this is a really good champion in the current meta, you should pick it up right now before anyone stops doing it sort of choice.
Before patch day tomorrow.
Okay, here we go. Olaf for Jaffe. There's no way that one's not Olaf for Jaffe.
yeah, Jaffe, one of the greatest top laners we've ever had in FOF. Gonna be piloting that Olaf. Pantheon picked over to the side of OVS. Don't know if that's gonna be top lane just yet, or if it's Volibear or Maokai, or I don't know what the meta is these days. But final pick is going to be Kale on the side of OVS. Okay. Thoughts?
Interesting. Okay, so my thoughts, right? Kale, very good champion. Incredibly good champion, especially with, the way how items work right now. Phenomenal champion. One of the worst possible picks to pick into Olaf as far as laning goes. So Limster has to be very, very confident that this one's going to work out. Or maybe they're taking the Kale and giving it to their mid laner.
I have no idea, but there's only one way to find out. So here we go. Blue Bayou Zoo versus Oversoul Esports Incarnate. We're going to get right into the game. The rest of BBZ, a lot of them coming in as veterans, people who have just been playing here since season 2, season 3. I can't even remember at this point. New members Fire Mana and Jacob Dudar. I've heard many things about Fire Mana. I saw him in qualifiers. Saw that he's he was the real deal. There's another Yone one trick. I don't know if he was actually one trick, but Yone player, which BBC loves those. So yeah, I'm excited to see him.
Yeah, but either way is going to be about as typical of a team composition as you could have asked for. Red going to be able to pick up that early, gold and experience off of the ward. It doesn't really mean too much for a for a duo laner, but for a solo laner could be quite nice. Limster with the teleport as well, just showing off just how confident he is in playing against this Jaffe Olaf. I don't know about it.
Yeah, I mean, we're curious. We've always seen how Jaffe plays. Jaffe could be, one of the best players on this map, or could be neutralized depending on where OVS places the priorities.
Could very much be a Jaffe moment, right? At any point in time, could be the best player, could be the worst player. It all depends on the whims of the Jaffe, and sometimes it changes in the middle of a game.
Yeah, big coin flip for sure. But Jaffe has also won Heroic League last season. Jaffe is currently a reigning champion, here to try to get a second title. Over against the side of OVS, a bunch of new players aside from Swifty, who has played back in Season 5, I believe. Swifty coming in with a brand new roster. By the way, I have to give the little shout out. Happy birthday, Swifty. It is your birthday today, from what I'm hearing. I hear you turned 26 on the 26th day. So, happy birthday, yo. Yeah, cool, right?
Yeah. It's like your golden birthday. I forget that. Is that how they call it? I don't know.
Sure, something like that. Yeah. Production says yes. Yeah. I turned 18 on December 18th. It was a good feeling.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I turned
crazy,
18
right?
on November 18th.
Oh, hey. Oh, wow. We're a month
Hey.
apart. That's crazy.
I turned 18 on September 18th.
Oh, production says they
Oh
turned
my
18
God.
on September 18th. Oh, crazy. My dad is October 18th. Kind of nuts.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Oh, and burst limit, he's March 18. Anyway.
You're just stacking up the 18s across
Yeah, I
the
was stacking
board.
up the 18s,
Oh
yeah.
my Lord. But, you know, 18 so far away for these players right now. Is pretty much everyone on the screen is sitting at level 2, not going to be able to do too many crazy things, except for Swifty, level 3 with the Volibear in the bot lane, already managing to find his way down here. But Dax in the top lane, flash for the Limster, and going to get a flash in response.
Dax immediately choosing the opposite side of the map as Swifty. Swifty is banking on a mistake from BBZ, and it might actually just happen. Jacob Dudar trying to start something. Oh, nice knockback from Tartarizzo, and that's going to be a good walk away from BBZ. Ignite onto Champion Red, and Red is like basically almost like 10% HP at this moment. Red's going to have to be super careful right now. Swifty is still hanging on the sides right now.
Yeah, it needs to be super careful. Both of the bot laners still have flash, so Red needs to keep his wits about him. But when you've got 3 health pots just in your system, going to be running just fine. Heal pops, but not gonna save him.
Champion Red.
Boy.
Unfortunate placement right there. Unfortunate positioning right there. Allows Tartarizzo to just go for the flash W and try to force it. Little risky play by Red right there. Probably could have backed earlier, but really wanted to try to keep himself in the game, and we're seeing how OBS punishes it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult position to find yourself in, but, you know, Red just needs to find a way back into this game. You know, going to be going with that lethality on the Misfortune means that you're going to be able to do quite a bit of damage with the ultis. But speaking of damage...
Yes, Champion Red able to get that return kill. Jacob Dudar around just to try to keep Tartarizzo, I hope I'm saying his name right, Tartarizzo alive, or sorry, in the lane. Jaffe and Dax trying to fight in this top side. Swifty is able to ward the enemy jungler away though.
Yeah, and just like that, going to be able to do exactly what we were talking about earlier, where you need to find some way back into the game. Well, why not just pick up a kill on the Maokai who just killed you?
Okay, Dax is also hovering this top side as well, basically doing the same thing Swifty was, just banking on hoping that the enemy laner just makes a mistake and steps a little too far forward. Now, support / top laner tip or jungler tip, I guess, just something I've learned from way back when. Just always assume there's someone in that bush. Just always entertain that idea, unless you know absolutely for sure that it's not going to happen. Bot lane, Swifty coming back for another attempt on Champion Red. Jacob Dudar does have to walk away. He doesn't have flash available. Lots of damage from the bot lane of OVS right now.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta be really, really careful, especially when Matsat was able to pick up, you know, a decent chunk of gold. Recurve Bow doesn't necessarily increase too much on the terms of Saya's E damage, but just every time her W's pop, she's just gonna be pumping feathers into you again and again and again and again, and there's just so much damage to be had.
Yeah, Jaffe getting a little bit of a lead topside right now. I mean, that is the goal to kill right now. A lot of damage also coming out of Champion Red.
Oh, this is a dive.
Limster is absolutely being threatened for a dive right now. Does get level 6. Did that just happen? I blinked and I might have missed it. Just gets level 6, so now Jaffe has to be like, nope, not happening. Absolutely not happening. He might have been entertaining the thought for a second and actually might have just ended up thinking, oh, he probably hits level 6 soon. So good presence of mind from both laners. Mid lane gank happening. Fire Mana and Dax trying to go on to Lifrith right now. And good call to just not chase that bush. You have to always assume there's someone in Pixel Bush or in those bottom bushes.
Every time.
Every time. Just entertain the idea. It's such a common tactic here in FOF. Just do it. Just think it through.
Why even leave base?
All day, every day.
Yeah, why even leave base? Just stay there. You can't get ganked if you're at base. Fire Mana getting ganked right now by Swifty. Does have flash available, but 2 chain CCs makes it so Fire Mana has to flash late and takes a lot of damage, meaning he can't stay in this lane too long. Otherwise, Otherwise, he dies.
Yeah, I mean, that being said, no flash left on the Pantheon means that Fire Mana should actually be able to stay in this lane while keeping a perfect range on the Pantheon. You can just really try to play around that W range, and as Annie, you should be able to slowly farm yourself back up into being able to play the game. Jaffe, on the other hand, trying to farm up this Kale. Oh baby, no ulti means that next wave could mean a disaster for Limster.
Dax is coming. Dax is coming. Yeah, Kale
blood in the
ulti.
water.
I actually agree with the Kale ulti happening that early, just because it allows
100%.
Kale to stay in that lane for a little bit longer, opposed to saving it for the end or saving it for the final few hits. Dax now hovering because he's aware of this. Jaffe is saying no ulti, please do this. This is 100% possible. Dax did see that Limster warded that Tribush, I believe, thanks to his own vision. But Swifty is actually now here just in case to counter. They're reading Dax, trying to see if he actually commits to some kind of gank here. But Jaffe walking a little too far forward means Swifty is given the cue to walk towards Jaffe. Dax is actually almost close to Jaffe. This could be a 2v2 very soon. We're going to see how they turn this around. Jaffe flashes forward, pops the ulti. Swifty is running really low on health right now. Same with Limster, and Limster has no Kale ulti. Swifty goes down in favor to Jaffe right now, but the Pantheon Limster is here to join the party. Fire Mana joins the party as well, but no more action is going to be had here in the top lane. 2-2 right now. BBZ versus OBS.
Yeah, and just like that, so much action going on across the map. What was looking like a cut and dry kill for the side of BBZ going to be answered back with that Pantheon ultimate. Fire Mana just has no way how to counter yet because you don't have the Unleashed teleport until 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's not a whole lot you can do. Fire Mana does now have a lot of movement options. BBZ can say straight up, let's force a TP play. Let's actually just make something happen real fast. It's very possible. I don't know if they're going to take the window right now. That's a window that would be pretty tight. Swifty now hovering this bot side. Red and Jacob do see this, which means Swifty with no ulti, I don't think actually can get too much from this. Maybe has to force a flash. Jacob Dodar goes for the ulti to try to keep his AD carry alive. Lots of damage coming out of Red onto Tartarizo, but the rest of OBS just going to be able to walk this out.
Yeah, and bullet time still not quite up, but that lethality is just going to continue to do so much damage. Massa has to be so careful. It does not matter how much gold you've got in your system. If you don't have like a full-on Randuins at this point, that's still going to be chunking you. But right now, Jacob Dudar just continuing to just pelt away with these Qs at the enemy team, just going to be able to do so much work with this Rel. Might have been a much stronger champion in the jungle than we've seen in previous seasons, but definitely no slouch in the support.
They're still hovering this bush, Swifty, right now. I do like Dax's response to immediately go to the Rift Herald the moment they saw Swifty try to gank bot lane, with Jaffe as well helping them. And good response by Red to triple check that dragon to make sure it wasn't being taken right away. They see now that it's being taken. I believe there's a pink ward on there. But now this means Dax can actually just go into Swifty's jungle, get some camps on his CS plate, and might come out ahead from this.
Yeah, I mean, only time will tell who really comes out on top, but that Herald should be going over to Jaffe, just going to continue to give him as much gold as possible. But first off, they need to make sure that Lifrith doesn't have a chance. Just ult back into that top lane the same way that they did last time, as Jaffe this time around does not have the flash, does not have the ghost, doesn't have too many ways how to really force this.
Yeah, and this is a good call by Dax to just back now. You just got 2 camps plus Herald in exchange for Dragon. Good trade in my opinion. BBZ, coming out in the micro game there. Fire Mana and Lifrith. Fire Mana and Lifrith. Obviously, the name of the game right now is where can Lifrith go? Where can Lifrith change the state of whatever lane? And Fire Mana only really has teleport to try to counteract that, while Lifrith also has teleport. So Fire Mana might actually just start looking towards pushing this this mid tower right now because it is like I think 4 turret plates down. Couldn't tell. Yeah, 4 turret plates still up. I mean, and that could be a quick point of gold if they can think to bait Lifrith out. But Swifty actually wants to come in for Fire Mana right now. Disables the tower. Nice ulti for Fire Mana, but it's not going to do anything. Great play coming out of Swifty, getting the flash and the kill.
Oh, baby. Something that I've been waiting to see for a long time. Volibear, what a busted champion. Just coming straight in to that tower, turning it off, saying, hey, you know what? I want a kill. I want to gank. I don't care what's going on. What I care about is who in the world is this Olaf on top of me. Is Jaffe going to run straight down into the mid lane. Beautiful roam timing. No teleport on this Olaf needed to make cross map plays.
Oh, it's crazy about that. Oh, and Mattstat. What? How do I even say this name? Mattstat ends up going down to the bullet time plus Rel. Tartarizo has to back out. 3 members of BBZ are here with the Rift Herald. This is a clean push onto their bottom lane tower. Yeah, crazy fight coming out from Jaffe as well. Jaffe having the Pantheon ult comes through from Lifrith. Oh, Jacob Dudar, you're like 1 HP. Oh, just dodge this spear, please. Oh, let's go.
My God.
Jacob Dudar doing anything he can. Yeah, he's still unfortunately gonna go down unless no shot. Oh, Jacob Dudar actually makes it out alive. Great for him. Meanwhile, near the dragon pit, there's a little bit of action, but I think it's just going to dissipate. Yeah, crazy attempt there from Lifrith. I actually do respect the attempt there, but unfortunately he thought that Jacob Dudar had died there, but that hesitation meant he got to live.
That was incredibly well played. Step aside a Riri. It seems like support's got another Jacob this season, and he is absolutely smurfing it today. As right now, this Rel 1-0-1, already been able to make some great plays, already able to get with the fancy feet. No one's going to be able to take this Rel out for a while.
God, it always feels so good when you get a sick sidestep on camera. God, that always feels good. Great plays from both sides right now, BBZ and OVS. The game is still relatively even. A little bit of early game hiccups from the sides of each team allowed for some of these kills. But now we're going to start to see a little bit more of the macro game, I would like to think. Dragon up in a minute and a half, or a little less than a minute and a half. I'd like to see both of these supports start to try to fight for this vision in the Dragon Pit right now, because OVS is currently winning it. I don't know if BBZ even has the resources to be able to escort him in there, but that should be the name of the game right now.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure if they do have the resources, but, you know, they have ultimates available across the board. Meanwhile, Lifrith still waiting on that Pantheon ultimate. Jaffe, on the other hand, you know, not able to really force as much with this Olaf as we might have been expecting against the kill. Limster playing this lane exceedingly well. You know, actually only has 1 kill to his name, but not going to be going down into a position.
No.
Oh no!
Jacob Dodar, unfortunately, like we said, trying to get that vision, but that means Swifty and Tartarizo were able to spot them out. Red trying to help out his support, unfortunately, means that he's going to die as well. Now, all of that... Oh, meanwhile, in the mid lane, Lifrith actually goes down to Fire Mana. 3 members of BBZ now in this mid lane. They can actually now just beeline this tower, try to take it down. They don't have Rift Herald anymore, but they could still just try to all 3 push for it. Or maybe just all 1. We'll see. Maybe they decide not to. They might decide here that Dragon is a little important to give up. Maybe not. Maybe they're just aware that OVS decides to back out here. But Jaffe can actually get this tower on itself. Looks like. Meanwhile, Limster in the top lane trying to create more pressure there. Nice teleport coming out from Fire Mana to keep that tower alive.
Yeah, but you know, either way, gonna be working out just fine for the side of OVS. As You know, they're able to pick up both champions on the bot lane, be able to pick up the entire tower, and Limster now laning against Fire Mana means that this Kayle can just continue to scale up. Already level 12, has 1 kill to his name, hasn't died a single time in what was initially considered a very difficult matchup.
Yeah, actually kind of impressive. Keeping this up will mean that OVS has a really strong win condition later on. Or at least, sorry, winning team fight condition. Lifrith trying to start something here in the bot lane as well in response to Jaffe appearing. I actually agree with this play from BBZ, trying to force 4 people down here and force this next dragon that's currently up right now. All of the vision from OVS is essentially gone now because it's all expired, which means it's kind of just a dead map for them. Fire Mana getting honestly deleted right now from the Limster. Swifty tries to go for the steal, doesn't get it right now, which means a return kill going over to BBZ. Score is now 6-6, 30k gold lead to 30k gold lead. BBZ versus OVS.
Yeah, I mean, incredibly even game right now. Limster just gonna continue to farm up this top lane. Oh, Matstat in a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, he's gonna be able to walk out. That's a cute little chase coming out of BBZ right now. They do kind of have the options to be able to try to fully commit to that if they want the Rek'Sai and Rel to go into that, but they're opting for just taking the Rift Herald right now, which is good map play by them. ASG won't be able to respond except for pushing bot lane, so this is just clean at this moment. I kind of want Jacob Dudar to try to invade into that top side jungle right now to try to get some more vision, because you definitely don't need all 3 members to try to take this Rift Herald, but that is safe. That is a secure way to play.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a safe way to do it, but one thing that I really just want to note, right, is how unbelievably well Limster has been playing throughout this game, right? You know,
yeah,
the win condition for the side of OVS is, hey, can we get to the late game so that way Kayle can take over this entire game? And Limster has not died a single time, level 13, currently running down Jaffe, and still has not finished the Mythic because Limster has not taken any, you know, super considerable risks on the side of the Kayle, and honestly, that's what you want from your Kayle player.
Yeah, they have OVS clearly has one lane that can just cruise at the moment and be a win condition later on. BBZ, I'm actually not entirely sure what their play will be over OVS other than standard pick a play. But BBZ at least trying to get these early leads onto these towers at the moment. 2 to 3 towers right now. This is going to be the 3rd tower for BBZ in a second. Lifrith gets dove by Dax right now. Nice ulti coming out of the Rek'Sai. Ulti coming out of the Rel. And this is going to be another tower in favor of BBZ, tying the game up again. And this game is so even, it's a little spooky. OVS is actually entertaining Baron right now because of how many people are bot side. And I think BBZ know this right now. Their Dax is going for the full commit ping on to try to get this this bot tower. They're saying, okay, this Baron, yeah, they get it. They ended up being in a better position than us. But getting this tower does equalize it a little bit. If they can just survive the Baron, then in theory, BBZ comes out on top here because they're a tower up. But OVS is now back, and BBZ should just stay safe. Just be alive. Just defend these minions.
Yeah, I mean, one thing to note, right? BBZ has always had incredible macro play. Like, their players themselves tend to have relatively strong micro, but what really sets them apart is their macro play.
Oh, no.
Right now, Red just sprinting it straight down through the bot lane, trying to survive, but Swifty just living up to the name, gonna be able to catch up. Nothing Red can do.
Ooh, okay, nice response, nice Zonias, nice bullet time, but it's not gonna be enough. Swifty is just a sliver of health, but after taking down 2 members of BBZ, what can BBZ even do about that? And this is unfortunate. This is exactly what you don't want from this situation, because now they got Baron plus kills compared to your 1 tower.
Yeah, and just like that, it was looking so good for the side of BBZ, and all of a sudden Red getting caught out just a tiny bit, even with the strut, with the Ghost Blade active, with Jacob Dudar speeding him up. It's not going to be able to slink away. And Limster, this is the most important part of that Baron. The fact that Limster was there to help take it means that you pump so much experience into the Kayle. they're one level away from their win condition, and it's 22 minutes into the game.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, good point. Good point. And all of that, all those kills just happened just because BBZ were a little hesitant. After taking that tier 2 tower, they thought for a second they could maybe take tier 3, but had they just run away immediately and just accepted that, you know, they get Baron for 1 tower, they wouldn't have been able to live. They would have been able to live that, but OVS, recognizing that BBZ doesn't actually have enough time to walk out of this, means that they just chase them down. Dragon up in 20 seconds right now. BBZ is going to have to look towards that and look towards some extra win condition because now they're just behind.
Yeah, and right now you can see that Jaffe just trying to make use of this Olaf just hasn't really been able to find a side lane, right? You know, you're supposed to be side laning into this Kayle, but she's level 15. She has 2 fully completed items, and you don't have the ability to really team fight when you're going with the Stride Breaker Olaf. You know, it's not the same kind of power that you'd be able to have if you're playing on, you know, Triforce or Gore Drinker or something along those lines, where on the other hand, Jaffe just trying to pick up the scraps wherever he can go.
Yeah, and this is standard response in this situation. If you unfortunately lose the dragon, you try to push up mid and just escape towards that top side. BBC can't really do a whole lot just because of the state of the minion waves in that situation. But OVS taking that dragon essentially for free in exchange for a couple minion waves. But BBC are going to have to try to look for something, and it's going to be on the eyes of Dax and Jacob right now. They have to find holes. They have to find holes through OVS's vision and try to find something that OVS misses.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I think the only win condition for BBZ is choke points, choke points, choke points. You have to play the choke points well, and BBZ has had incredible rotations. They've had great macro play. They need to find a single choke point, a single opening to get that bullet time across the entirety of the enemy team. Red does so much damage on this Misfortune. Might be at 232, might not be at 200 CS yet, but right now,
here we go.
Looking to be in a lot of trouble.
Oh, that's going to be a nice engage out, or sorry, disengage out. Tartarizo able to just use his Valkyrie ulti to make sure that Dax and the rest of his teammates can't do anything past that. But honestly, a common strategy at this point, if you're losing and they're sort of deathballing, just go the opposite direction. Just go where they're not. Especially if you're Jacob, who has, you know, the wards. So I want to see that. I want to see that play from BBZ, because there's no way they just run at them and win 5v5 at this point.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a difficult position to find yourself in if you're BBZ, because you know you have a team that's essentially a Wombo team, but you only have 2 or 3 champions who are really going to be the ones outputting the damage in that Wombo. Right, you know, Dax on the Rek'Sai still relatively on, you know, bruisery side, isn't going to be putting out the AoE damage you need. Fire Mana and Red really need to step up here and find the right positions to follow up off of their teammates. Meanwhile, Limster has hit that ever-dreaded Kayle level 16.
Okay, the death number. Now Kayle is a champion, and Limster can honestly just cruise the rest of this game. It literally doesn't matter as long as Limster, you know, pilots his champion the way he's supposed to pilot it. Like, his role is completely easy now. Just keep pushing or keep showing up to these team fights, whichever it is. And at this point, OVS just has a win condition over BBZ right now.
Yeah, I mean, and BBZ, you know, left this Kayle open. If you take a look at the OPGGs, you can see that Limster, you know, relatively avid Kayle player. But oh my god, speaking of avid play,
Tartarizo just going in hot onto Jacob and Champion Red, using his Maokai ulti flash W, just ensures that at least someone, if not more people, are caught. That's a cool moment. And they get 1 kill over the side of OVS, which is the call for Baron at the moment, because they also believe that BBZ cannot just run at them and just assume that they win a fight. None of them are a Kayle. None of them are such a strong champion that it just turns the tide of this fight. But BBZ is smart enough to know this right now. Fire Mana could have an insane ulti here if OVS doesn't respect it. But OVS is actually doing a lot right now to BBZ is doing a lot right now to keep OVS off of this Baron. This Baron now has to be reset. And now it's just okay. Now they're in an okay state. Jacob is back. If they wanted to 5v5, it is a thing they could force. But now this means OVS has to move back, while BBZ is allowed to move forward. So they're allowed to push this this mid wave right now, and they're allowed to get first move on this dragon, especially Jacob with the wards. So we'll see how they can, you know, utilize their space and utilize this window, try to get an advantage. And there they go. Yeah.
Yeah, and the longer this game goes, the longer, you know, the more BBZ have an opportunity to come back. Like, yes, your opponents do scale very well. Like, you know, yeah, you have a Kale on the Unity team. Yes, these are things that you have to deal with. At this point, BBZ's best bet is looking for a huge wombo and instantly ending the game.
I agree with that. I honestly, okay, this is another, sorry, I'm a support main from way back when, but this is another thing. Crazy strat if you're a support main. You drop all your wards. Okay, hold on. First fight is happening. Limster getting engaged onto Dax, forcing the Kale ulti out. This gives them the cue to actually try to engage a fight. Dax doesn't get the kill onto the Kale, who's on a sliver of HP right now. Lifrith making so much space for the rest of OVS. Fire Mana and Jacob right now, the only ones, and sorry, and Champion Red, the only ones able to try to make something happen. Fire Mana goes down. There's a teleport coming from the side of the Limster right now, but nothing more is going to be grabbed right here. Jacob, nice stun, and Champion Red and Jacob are able to walk away. But anyway, what I was trying to say was crazy strat for supports. If you wanna attempt this in FOF game, you can. But if it's like 20 seconds before a dragon, just hear me out. You drop all your wards in their jungle, you back immediately to refresh your wards, and you come back because they waste scanner on it, right? They have to use scanner, and you come back and just refresh the wards. Anyway, random thing.
Yeah, I mean, always happy to hear some words of wisdom from our director himself.
Retired.
Retired
gamer.
Retired.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway. 13-8 right now in favor of OVS. OVS actually just has everything in their hands right now. They don't need to push too hard. They don't need to overextend. This is like if they just play naturally, BBZ will just auto lose this just slowly.
Yeah, I mean, right now BBZ, it's the onus is on them to really find that opening, to just find that huge engage. And we almost saw it earlier. You know, it was just very close, just slivers of health left on Limster. You know, just Jaffe just barely not able to survive long enough. Dax barely not able to put out enough damage, as you know, the overheal shield on this Kale, you know, a rune that we really just don't see used that much anymore since they demolished Bloodthirster's overheal shield. Just doing so much work for Limster in that fight.
Yeah, BBZ needs to actually be clever here. OVS is actually playing so solid. Not that they have to do too much to try to just defend their position, but BBZ just has to be a little bit clever. Like one of them, specifically maybe Dax or Jacob, have to try to find some kind of pocket where OVS doesn't see vision. And if they have the presence of mind to try to find this spot, they might be able to go for something. Jacob Dodar actually has a little bit of a flank, doesn't go for it. Fire Mana engages though, and I don't think Jacob Dodar is actually here for this fight for the first couple of seconds, but they're able to get a kill onto Lifric. Now this is 5v4. Tartarizo trying to make some space by going into the back line, but Tartarizo goes down. Jacob goes in, nice rel ulti, and BBZ are now winning this fight. Limster, great Zonias right now, but he needs to die. No way, Matt gets so much damage, and it's just a 1v2 now. Matt Stat versus Red and Jaffe, who don't have enough health to fully commit to this. They don't have enough. Matt Stat keeps this game actually in their hands still because of this.
Yeah, and Matt, with that, Xayah just absolutely demolishing everyone with a single recall of the feathers, just tearing straight through Red, Jacob, Fireman. Like everyone involved was not ready for how much damage those feathers would output. Everyone was focused on Limster, and all of a sudden Xayah shows up huge, and now with the Last Whisper in bound is going to be doing so much more damage.
This CS also on Matt Stat, kind of insane. 293 at 31 minutes. making sure that he has the gold at all times. This is crazy. Great play coming out from the AD carry in FOF here. I mean, you know, that sometimes that happens. AD carries, especially when, you know, you're playing a stage game or playing a game that's on camera. You're so hyper focused on making sure you don't miss a single CS. I've seen crazy numbers from these people.
Oh, absolutely.
But OVS playing phenomenally right now, especially coming from a 1-1 week from last week. I think after qualifiers, a lot of us were expecting OVS to sort of 9-0 this first half. But 1-1 right away means they're mortal, which means BBZ just needs to find some crack in the armor.
Yeah, I mean, and we've seen those cracks appearing. Like Limster might be at level 18, might have the Zanyas, but you can still see BBZ finding those opportunities, finding those windows. Red getting very, very close to finishing that Bloodthirster. Limster still chilling out with the overheal shield. Fire Mana not quite yet level 16. If you can get those levels onto these BBZ members, you can start to see a different story being told.
Yeah, also we have the option of Annie flanks. If that's entirely on Fire Mana's mind right now, that could be a way back into this game. If Fire Mana is the one to try to find these pockets, with the help of his support, of course, that might be the way to get onto these players. But Tartarizo actually going to be caught out, does still have flash, but not going to be able to use it. Tartarizo goes down in favor of BBZ right now. This is a 5v3 situation to fight for this dragon. But Limster, on the other hand, is pushing up this top wave, and someone has to respond to that.
And that someone has to be Fire Mana, and they just use their engage on Jacob Dudar, which means that Fire Mana not being available with the Flash Tibbers means that this could be so bad for BBZ.
This is a teleport from Lifrith to try to force Fire Mana to make a decision. That's actually a great call. I love that play, making it so 3 members are allowed into BB's base in exchange for Dragon. That is such a good strategic idea. Jaffe is the only one that could try to defend, but he's not going to want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, there's just so little that you can do on the side of BBZ there. You know, your top laner doesn't have teleport. Meanwhile, it's double teleport on the side of Oversoul, and one of those teleports is on a Pantheon that still has the cross-map potential.
Yeah, I don't know why I was looking down and expected to see triple Triforce again somehow, but okay, not a thing this game.
I mean, honestly, I could see it. You know, Volibear with Triforce, Pantheon with
There's
Triforce,
a part of me,
maybe.
There's a part of me, that thought that was going to happen in draft, but not today. BBZ now onto this Baron. This is a call. This is an interesting call coming out of BBZ, trying to kind of Hail Mary this and say, let's just hope that OVS can't respond to this right away. But they do. They don't want to take any chances. OVS playing very, very safe.
They still can't
defensive.
see Limster.
Yeah, still can't see Limster, but now they do. So now they can make a decision. One of them has to go back, lest they lose something, or they can try to fully engage on something. Jacob looked like he was trying to force an engage there, which might have been the right call, because that was a 5v4 without one of, you know, OVS's strongest members at the moment. So BBZ trying to be reactive, but now that that doesn't work out, Fire Mana has to back.
And Fire Mana just absolutely having to back. You know, once again, the only person on the side of BBZ with a teleport. You know, Limster might look to flash in to kill Fire Mana. Fire Mana, you have to be so careful.
Spooky. You are 3 levels down. That is not good for BBZ. Fire Mana goes down to Limster. When you're dying to the side lane pressure, you know you're in trouble at the moment. I mean, that might be the nature of Kale. The rest of OVS now trying to go on to Jaffe, but Jaffe is so fast. Unfortunately, Limster is just hitting the Nexus right now. Champion Red makes it back and is going to try to force him away, but Limster can honestly just force Nexus right now. Lifrith has joined the party. Limster has Zonius with 1 HP right now. They have to do something. They're able to take down Lifrith and Lifrith and Limster right now. But Jaffe, Red, and Dax are trying to force OVS all out of this fight. The minions are knocking on the Nexus's door right now. Dax is choosing that he has to go there. Inhibitor is back up, so it's not entirely possible. Are you kidding me right now? This Inhib just died. 1 HP on this Nexus. Tartarizo gets on to Dax. Dax goes down, double kill over to Mattstat, and that is the game. for OVS versus BBZ.
And just like that, happy birthday, Swifty!
Yes,
Over
sir.
Soul Esports taking it over BBZ in a nail biter of an ending for what was such a controlled early game.
Yeah, crazy play from OVS. Very solid. It definitely felt like I didn't get to watch their loss against whoever it was last week, but it looked like whatever they were thinking in this game was just make sure we don't mess up. Don't make mistakes. Let's just play solid. It looks good.
Yeah, it looked great, and only time will tell whether or not they're really going to be able to continue with that same level of control. But either way, congrats to Oversoul Esports, going to be ending off the day 2-1.
2-1. Yeah, 2-1. And I think there's very few teams now that are able to say that they're 2-1. Let alone 3-0. But yeah, great game from Oversoul Esports. This is a replayed VOD, so we can't show the sort of the scoreboard at the end. But OVS playing fantastically throughout this middle game. BBZ had an admirable early game, but unfortunately in the middle game, there's just not much that you can do into OVS there. But either way, still early on in the season. There's still some time here, so you just gotta, work out your kinks right now, and then hopefully by the rematch time, by week, what is it going to be, week 7, week 6, you'll be able to get that game back. Happy birthday, Swifty. Happy birthday, OVS. Congratulations on your win. I believe we're going to have a birthday interview. Normally we don't do interviews for the replay games, but Swifty, it's your birthday, so come on down here. And thank you guys so much for watching. That's it for us. Shout out to Logitech G, Adobe Creative Cloud, Academy of Art, and shout out to you guys for supporting us. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. Have a good one. Take it easy.
Hello, everyone. This is Bill the Pony here, joined here by Swifty, the birthday boy himself, who plays jungle for OVS and just got their second win of the season in what was a very exciting match to watch. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I'm very glad we won. Would have felt sad to lose on the birthday, but I'm glad with how we played. Glad we bounced back. So feeling good.
Good, absolutely. So what were your thoughts against what's ultimately a pretty tough matchup? BBZ is kind of known to be always a tough matchup. They're very scrappy. What were your thoughts kind of going into the draft? What goals did you guys have, and do you feel like you achieved them?
I think that we knew that BBZ is one of the best teams in the league. I think in the beginning weeks it's a little bit hard because you don't have a lot of information to go off in terms of previous drafts, right? We have some stuff from qualifiers where some teams played more than other teams. We only saw specific iterations of matchups between teams. I think that you can go from stuff off of week one, but obviously when teams are still sort of getting into the flow of things and feeling out what's working and feeling out what's not working, flukes are bound to happen, right? I think BBZ dropped a game last week to a team that, quite honestly, I think later down the season that might go the other way. So we definitely wanted to respect them. I know that I believe Red in the interview last week shouted us out and said, that BBC was excited to play us. We were definitely excited to play them. I think we knew after losing to Astora last week that we had a bit of a wake-up call, right? And I'm glad we lost early because I think in best of ones, especially in an 18-game season like this, mistakes can happen and they will happen. And good teams can drop. Anyone's beatable. But I'm very glad it was the second game, right? It was a nice wake-up call for us because I think when we're playing the way that we want to and the way that we need to be playing, I don't think there's a team in this league that should be able to beat us if we're at our best. So.
Well, you guys have absolutely shown that you can be very dominant, and I'm excited to see, as the season progresses, how you guys continue to build your synergy and team play for sure. So, I mean, when we previously talked, I believe last week, after your guys' win on Monday of last week, we talked about predictions for the season, and I believe you told me after the fact that you got flamed by your team for not saying 18.
I did.
And that's probably the reason you guys ended up losing on Tuesday, was because of that lack of faith. So do you have any amendments now to kind of your predictions for the rest of the season?
I do. In hindsight, I wish I said 18-0. I think my team would have been happier with me, but I'm glad I didn't, right? And I think for the same reason that I spoke about just a minute ago, best of ones, anything can happen. I think that's part of the reason why I wanted to come back to this league so much. Is it's exciting. There's a lot of storylines that can happen, upsets, underdogs. So I'm glad, I guess, I didn't, say 18-0. But after we lost week one, I think that wake-up call is enough to really kick us into gear that much earlier. I think if we're playing our best, there's no reason we cannot 17-1 moving forward. I think BBZ is going to be one of our toughest opponents we have to face. I'm really looking forward to Art of War. I think they look really, really good. I'm definitely looking forward to playing FP again. I think there's 2 3-0 teams, right? FP and who's the other one? PTP?
I believe so. FP and PTP.
Yeah, looking forward to playing them too. I think that I don't think there's going to be a single 18-0 team in this league because I don't think another team should take us down, quite honestly. But yeah, I also want to give a shout out to my buddy Taylor Elfrith for stepping in. We didn't have James Freedom Potatoes here today, and I'm really proud of him. I think he crushed it, and he pulled a win out for me on my birthday, so happy with that.
Yeah, the Pantheon pick was a lot for BBZ to play around, right? You had a lot of mobility and transitioning on the map, so there was a lot of plays that really happened because of having that mobility out of the mid lane. Yeah. So that worked out really well for you guys. So I got to ask you, since it's your birthday, is this win the best birthday present you've ever gotten? If not, what is the best birthday present you've ever gotten?
Is that as much as I want to say this one's the best birthday present I've ever gotten, it's up there for sure. And I don't want my teammates and FOF and Taylor to think it's not a great present, but I think my best birthday present last year. It's funny, I'm not a birthday guy. I typically like to just sit inside and be alone on my birthday, but last year my dad took me to a Yankees Astros game. I'm from New York, I'm a Yanks fan, and I got to watch Judge hit a walk-off homer right over my head, and it was beautiful. And that might have been the best birthday present, was from Aaron Judge. So this is close second though, I would say.
Yeah,
For sure.
can't compete with a professional athlete
Yeah,
like
right.
that, but you know, we'll try. We'll try. Great. Well, before we step away and wrap up the night, I think we're all a little bit tired now.
For sure.
I want to give you the opportunity to share any final thoughts before we close.
GG's DBZ. I think that team is super, super good. I know they're 1-2, but again, it's like, you know, the first 3 games. I think everyone else should watch out for BBZ. This team is like full of vets and full of threats, right? Thank you again to Taylor. I love you, buddy. You're the homie. Thanks to our new support for stepping in on short notice with, you know, the sort of switch up stuff that we had. And yeah, I'm looking forward to put the fear of God in the rest of these teams coming up. So
Great words. Thank you for sharing. Thanks for sticking around for all the way after the VOD to be part of this interview. I hope the rest of your birthday is fantastic. And yeah, we'll see you tomorrow
Alrighty.
on the Rift.
Yep.